Hey everyone, welcome to my channel and welcome to my 25 Days of Craftmas series. During this series, I'm going to show you how to make these 25 Christmas projects using your Cricut machine. And I'll also share the SVG files I use to make the projects for free, so you can make them too. It's day 4 and today I'm showing you how to make this fun flip chart Christmas countdown sign. This sign has numbers 1 through 25, and after each day passes, you can flip the card over to reveal the next number. I love that you can be creative and make every number card look original and unique. You can also use this same idea to count down to other holidays and events. Now let's go take a look at the supply list and get started. For this project, you'll need 12 sheets of cardstock. You'll need glue, some small book rings, a 1/2 inch wooden dowel, a 1x2 to make the stand, acrylic paint and a brush, drill and a 1/2 inch drill bit, wood glue, your Cricut, a cutting mat, and the cut file. So grab your supplies and head over to your computer. The first thing we need to do is grab the SVG file we'll be using for this project. You can get it for free on my blog at burtonavenue.com. I keep all the SVG files for the projects I make and share in my free SVG library. These files will work with all kinds of cutting machines and they're free to everyone. Once you're on my site, just click on Free SVG Files and then Free SVG Library. You will need a password to get into the library, and there are instructions on the screen if you need to get one. For this project, we'll be using the file called Christmas Countdown Flipchart BA1819. To find it, you can either click on the Craftmas 2021 link, or you can use your browser search and just type in 1819. Once you found the file, go ahead and click on that link and the files will be downloaded onto your computer. I'm going to show you how to cut this design using Cricut Design Space. If you're not sure how to unzip and import files into Cricut Design Space, be sure to check out my step-by-step tutorial. Once you import the design, it will look like this on your Canvas screen. So I'm just going to kind of go over the design and explain what all of the different pieces are. You can see here there's kind of a space between each of the different colors, and each different color represents a different sheet of cardstock. So these first 5 sheets, which are kind of shades of green, I cut with printed Christmas cardstock. So I used 5 different prints, and those are the background pieces of the flip chart. These next 3 sheets that are kind of shades of red and pink are different size rectangles that will fit on these background sheets. And you can mix them up and cut them in different colors. I cut one out of red, one out of a green, and one out of a black, and all of those colors coordinated with my printed Christmas cardstock. And then we move down here to these light gray pieces, and I actually cut them out of white cardstock, and there's going to be 3 sheets, 2 that are totally full, and then there's going to be one more sheet that just has 4 of those shapes on it. And then the last one is going to be the numbers, and I cut those out of black cardstock. Now obviously you can mix things around. You don't have to cut everything the same. You could cut these background pieces out of solid cardstock. You could cut some of the rectangles out of printed. Get creative and just do what fits your style. So now that we know what all these different pieces are, we're going to resize it so that we can make our project. So we're just going to go up and change the width to 11.5 inches. Make sure that the lock is closed so the height adjusts proportionally. Now this is going to be big, and even if we click on this minus sign, we're not going to be able to see everything, but you can scroll down and get a glimpse of it all. Since everything is going to be cut out of cardstock, we don't really have to attach anything. We can let the Cricut sort things out to use the least amount of cardstock possible. So I'm going to go up to the Make It button and click on that. And then we're brought to this screen. And this is just going to show us all the different sheets of cardstock that we need. So you'll need to pay attention to the order that things are going to be cut. So this is showing that we're going to be cutting the 3 sheets of white for these decorative shapes, and then it will cut the black, and then it's going to cut 2 of these rectangles, and then it moves to the 5 different background pieces and ends with 1 last sheet of the rectangles. So you can refer back to these sheets anytime in the process just to make sure you're always cutting the right piece of cardstock. So if everything looks good, we can click on the green Continue button. Make sure that your Cricut is turned on, and then once Design Space finds your Cricut, you'll be taken to this screen. Now you're going to want to make sure that your dial matches up with the material you're cutting. So now we can go load up the first sheet of cardstock. So place a piece of white cardstock on your cutting mat and smooth it down. Load it into your Cricut by pressing the up and down arrow button. When the Cricut is ready to cut, you'll see the C button light up. Press that and the machine will begin cutting. When the first sheet has finished cutting, you can press the up and down arrow button again to unload your mat. To remove the cardstock from the cutting mat, you'll want to slightly bend the cutting mat and carefully pull off the cardstock. This should keep the cardstock from bending. Place another sheet of cardstock on the mat and then cut that out. Repeat this until everything has been cut. As I mentioned earlier, you can look at the cut screen in Design Space to see what the Cricut will be cutting next. Once everything has been cut, separate all the different pieces into piles. For each number, you'll want to use a large background rectangle, 1 to 3 of the smaller rectangle pieces, 1 decorative frame, and your number. You can be creative with how you arrange and add the rectangle pieces. I grabbed all the pieces and arranged them on the background just to make sure I like the look, and then I glued everything into place. You'll be able to make numbers 1 through 25, and you'll probably have leftovers of most of the pieces. Now that the numbers are done, let's work on the stand. The stand is actually pretty easy to make. You'll need 2 6-inch pieces and 1 7-inch piece cut from a 1x2. You'll also need a 5.5-inch piece cut from a 1/2-inch wooden dowel. Make a mark on both of the 6-inch pieces, that is 1/2 inch down from the top and 3/4 of an inch over from the edge. Grab your drill bit and place it over the top of the 6-inch piece to figure out how far you can drill into the wood without the drill bit going through. Wrap a piece of masking tape around the drill bit to set the depth. You'll know to stop drilling when the tape hits the wood. Now drill a hole into each of the pieces of the wood, right on the marks you made. Your hole should be at least 1/4 of an inch deep. Put the dowel in the holes and make sure everything fits. Then use some wood glue to glue the dowels in place. After a few minutes, you can wipe off any excess glue. Next, add some glue onto the bottom of the sides and then attach the bottom piece. Once again, let the glue dry for a little bit and then wipe off the excess. Now you can give the entire stand a light sanding. Once everything has been sanded, you can paint the stand black. You'll probably need to do a couple of coats. Once the black paint is completely dry, you can assemble the countdown sign. I put the number 25 on top and then put the rest of the numbers behind that. Thread some book rings through the holes of the numbers and then clamp those book rings around the wooden dowel. When each day is over, you can flip the number to the back until you get to day 1. And that's it. Another cute countdown sign is complete. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to my channel and click on the notification bell to get notified each time I post a new video.